Hi everyone, welcome to my channel once again, and today we are talking about being 8 weeks pregnant. Once again, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Alyssa, and today I am talking about my 8-week bump date, which is exciting. I had intended on doing one last week, and it got away from me. I just got really busy all of a sudden. I had so much going on last week that I had no time to make a video, so I'm here today to make a video. I'm so excited that I finally hit the 8-week mark. I'm so happy. It feels like a great accomplishment, you know? You're like, yes, I am 8 weeks pregnant. So I have quite a lot to talk about, so we're gonna get started with the fun things like symptoms and whatnot. Here we go. Being 8 weeks pregnant means that my symptoms, I feel, have kicked up a notch. As you can probably tell from my slightly vague expression, I just woke up from a nap. I have been extremely tired. I want to sleep all the time. Like, I take naps a lot. I go to bed earlier. It's funny, it's like by 9:30 I'm tired, so I'm getting ready for bed, and then I'm in bed and asleep usually by 10 o'clock. So, which is early for me. I know some people are like, that's not early. It's early for me. For someone who has stayed up to like all hours of the night most of her married life because her husband works nights, it's early. But sometimes when I'm tired and sleepy and I'm about to take a nap, I can't do it. Like some days I have so much going on in my brain that I can't get to sleep because I'm constantly thinking and I can't sleep even though I'm exhausted. So it's like, come on guys. Come on. My mild cramping has pretty much kind of gone off the grid. I have it every now and then, but it's very minimal and doesn't last very long. I've had headaches. I've had a lot of headaches here in the past week. I've had probably at least 2 or 3, which is a lot for me because I don't usually get headaches, and I had bad headaches. Last Friday I had a headache that was so bad, like I couldn't move my head, I couldn't think right. I had gone out with a friend that day. We went to a book signing, and the whole night was exciting and fun, but kind of a bummer because my head hurt so bad and I didn't bring any Tylenol or anything, so that was the first time I took Tylenol for a headache. The last time I just slept it off because it was at the end of the day and I was about to go to bed, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Usually I can just sleep them off, but this time it was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't move my head, I couldn't look at anything. Driving home after that book signing was interesting. Headaches are an issue. Something that kind of has been going on is food aversion, but not like typical food aversion where I look at it and don't eat it. I look at it, it looks gross, I get it anyway, and I eat it. I don't know if that makes sense. So that Friday that we went out, we went to IHOP, and and the pancakes sounded great. I got there and I looked at the menu and I almost barfed because everything just looked too sickly sweet. We decided to split some pancakes, just some normal buttermilk pancakes. If you don't eat them, that's okay. It was only half a stack, you know, whatever. I said, okay, I think I can do that, you know. And I was hungry, so I was like, I should eat something. So I did. And as soon as I got them, they looked great. And then I ate them, and I've never eaten pancakes so fast in my life. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I want this. Or sometimes something will look good, and then I get it and start eating it. I'm like, no. Cravings and whatnot, I don't have intense, long-going cravings. I have very short, sporadic cravings that only last 1 or 2 days. Like, I have pancakes. Had them once, wanted them again for about 3 more days. And we went and got pancakes. I know that a lot of times, you know, the doctors say, you know, have healthy snacking all day instead of just 3 big meals. So I started keeping a jar of mixed nuts and dried fruit next to my desk where I work. And that's kind of been nice. And I really love the banana chips in it. I really love those. They're sweet, they're yummy, and they're like chips, and they're delicious, and they're really yummy to me. I don't know why. It's really just been sporadic cravings. I haven't had anything like, oh my gosh, I need this for weeks on end yet. And I haven't had anything weird. So, who knows? Food aversions, like I said, are a thing. Still don't like Chinese. Still don't like Taco Bell. But I did hear from my doctor, believe it or not, that I can have sushi. Who would have known? And that all I have to do is don't eat bottom feeder fish. And she said fish is actually really good for you when you're pregnant, and you know, if it's done properly, if you get it from a place that's pretty reputable and not like buffet sushi, then you're probably good. And I was like, yes, sushi is my favorite food ever. Like, it was so sad. Like, sad and happy when I got pregnant. Mostly happy, but I was like, man, I can't eat sushi anymore. My husband likes it too, so we were like, oh no. But apparently I can, so that's a plus. Since the last time I talked to you guys, I've had 2 doctor's appointments already. I know. One was for my cardiologist, and then the other one was my 8-week appointment. So I'm going to talk about those. At my cardiologist appointment, it all went really well. You know, they listened there, and everything sounded good, and, you know, everything was feeling fine and whatnot. Talked to the doctor. He was super excited for me. He was like, I'm, you know, excited to see how this is gonna go. I can't wait. Super happy for you. And then he tells me all of the risks again. I swear, doctors get paid to tell you things you don't want to hear. I know it's his job to tell me these things, but he tells me them every single time I come. He told me again that I'm at a high risk for miscarriage, and it's like, I really don't want to hear that anymore. Or especially now. It's just, it's hard to hear over and over and over again, and you know, when you think you're over it, you're out of the woods, and they're still telling you these things. It really sucks, and it's not very fun. There goes my air conditioner. It's just really hard to hear again, and especially like now that I am pregnant, it's like, please don't say anything, because again, I'm the kind of person who worries. I officially feel a lot better since I had my 8-week appointment, but it's just kind of like, we don't need to talk about this right now. If you knew me, you wouldn't say anything. So, but yeah. But aside from that, everything went well, everything's good to go. They want to see me every 3 months, which I was surprised. I thought they'd want to see me more often, but they're good. So then, this past Monday, I had my 8-week appointment. I can't explain to you the relief you feel when you see that screen. As soon as the lady puts the gel on your tummy and the little thing, and you see that blob, and you're like, it's really there. You know, it's there, it's thriving. Oh my gosh. I was so relieved. I didn't cry. I thought I would cry, but I didn't. And unfortunately, I didn't get to hear the heartbeat this time. They didn't even use the Doppler or anything. They didn't do a internal ultrasound. They just did one on my stomach, and we were able to find everything they needed. So, plus for me. But then I didn't get to hear it. I got to see the little fluttering. Baby's heartbeat was about 175, 178 around there, I think, which is pretty good from what I understand. The ultrasound lady said that everything that she could see looked good, you know, nothing wrong, everything's great, and there you go. I was like, wow, okay, that was easy. So here's our bean. I have more pictures, but I've distributed them throughout the 2 of us, me and my husband. I have one at work, and he has one that he carries around with him or at his work, wherever he decided to put it, to show everyone. So, but this is the one we have. I believe that's the little baby, and then that is the yolk. I don't know, I didn't quite catch her there, but there's one of them is the baby. Yeah, it was so cute. It was really nice to see, and it was really cool to actually see our little baby on that little screen just chilling. Of course, we had our typical prenatal visit where they talked about all the risks, the genetic risks, and just a lot of risks in 2 weeks, let me tell you. We opted out on genetic testing just because we don't care. If our kiddo has some mental disability or physical deformity, it doesn't change how much we already love them and how much we're so glad to have them, and we'll take care of them either way. I mean, it really doesn't matter to us. So we skipped out on all that just because, I don't know, we just didn't think we needed it. I will be induced because they want to have a very controlled environment for my labor, so I will be induced at 39 weeks unless baby says otherwise. And I can have an epidural, which is really wonderful, and I definitely intend on that. The doctor said you should just because of the adrenaline and the stress, and if I'm under a lot of pain, it could stress out my heart, and just a lot of things. The most upsetting thing about this appointment, though, was that the liver people, whom I have a love-hate relationship with at the moment, didn't bother to tell me they wanted more tests till I went to this appointment. When I went to be evaluated at the high-risk place, the guy said that he was going to ask the liver people if they needed another MRI, because what the file and the notes had said is that she wanted another one to check on the elasticity. Now, I thought that she had already done this in one ultrasound. Turns out she didn't. I'm very frustrated if you can't tell. So I have to have another MRI. Haven't gotten a call to get that scheduled or figured out yet, but none of the people from the liver place called me about it. You would think that if they want to schedule something, they'd let me know. It's the same thing with when I thought I had a tumor. I had to call them to figure out if it was cancer or not. That's not right. I'm sorry. And then they want another test done, a little longer and further along in my pregnancy, I guess. They want to put a camera down my throat. Yeah, I know. It's awful. I've had it done once. It's not pleasant. But they want to put a camera down my throat so that they can see the blood vessels in my throat. Because if they're enlarged, then that means something's wrong with my liver, I think. I don't exactly remember all the terms, and I apologize. But, you know, it's just really frustrating. So, I don't mean to whine, but it's just really frustrating when this place won't get back to you. And I had to get a Hep B shot for them before I got pregnant, and I got it, called them and let them know because they wanted blood work, and yeah, never called me back. So I'm just kind of frustrated. I don't understand why I have to have all this testing still. It's too late. I'm already pregnant. So, you know, and just all this talk of my liver giving out on me and all this stuff, even though I know it's fine, nobody seemed alarmed, but why do I need more tests? And unfortunately, I'm not the strong person who can say I don't want them, because while they may be a nuisance, they're probably necessary, you know, and if I said I didn't want them, they would probably be like, well, you need them, and then I'd just be like, okay, you know, yeah. When it comes to doctors, I'm kind of like a rug that everybody just stomps on, so, but other than that, the appointment was really great. I got a lot of information, and I see them next month. The lady was so nice. It was a lady this time. It's kind of a group of doctors who all work together, and keep an eye on you. So she was really nice, and she was just pleasant and positive, and despite all the annoyances that came with this appointment, she was still super wonderful. I had to have a pelvic exam, which was no fun. I have had a condition called vaginismus, and I won't go into crazy detail because it's TMI, but basically everything's really intense, really tense down there, and it's gotten better since I've been married. I had to do a lot of work to get to that point, but sometimes it flares up and it's really painful. So that was probably the most painful down there exam I've had in a long time. I cried after they left the room because I felt bad, but it was not pleasant, and it makes me nervous because how am I gonna be able to push a kid out if I can't do an exam? And I know you expand and you're numb, you're not gonna feel it, but yeah, I had that fleeting thought. I've had a lot of stupid irrational fears in the last 2 weeks too. Just fears of people kidnapping my kid. I read this probably shouldn't have read this. I read this story of this lady whose kid was kidnapped by a fake nurse, and it took 3 days to find her, and that just scares me. And then I read something the other day of the hospital saying that this person had been using marijuana while pregnant, and they took her kid right after the kid was born, pretty much. Which typically doesn't happen, but I've had these like, oh, that's scary, I don't want that to happen, and irrational stupid fears like that. And I have to process that, move on, give it to God, continue on with my life. I got this super cool app too that I wanted to talk about. It's called Glow Nurture, and it's a really neato app. See how cute? And when you move it, the little baby swims around, or if you poke him. I'm covering this because my last name's on here. Yeah, it's really neat. It tells you how far you are, you know, what the baby's up to, how they're growing, and all that cool stuff, and a visual of what they look like, which is really cool. And my little brother, who's 7, he loves seeing it because he thinks it's really cool. And it tells me, you know, all of the things that's going on with your baby, and I really, really love it. I also really love the forums because a lot of these ladies like have, you know, concerns and stuff that I do, and it's really, really nice to know that I'm not the only one. So I highly recommend it if you just found out that you're pregnant. I really, really like it. It's easy to use, which is a plus because I'm not tech savvy. I think next week, since I probably won't have much to talk about next week, I'm going to try and do these weekly. Wish me luck. Next week I'm going to talk a little bit more about my heart condition. I really botched it last time, and I feel really bad about that because I should know these things and I don't. I wasn't really there when this all happened, so my mom gave me a drawing of what my heart is like and what they had to do and explained it to me, so hopefully I can re-explain it to you guys. But I'll be doing that next week, and I'm really sorry that I botched that for all of you medical people who are just over there shaking your head like, oh honey. I think that's it. I think that was all of the updates that I had. I've had a really good couple weeks. Aside from being terribly exhausted, I am going to show you my belly now. Here's the side in my really baggy shirt. But I don't think I've grown that much, but I definitely am feeling heavier here, like just tight and heavy. It's really a weird sensation. And here I am from the front. Again, just look fat at this point. And the other side. It's getting there. And I don't like to show off my just normal skin. I just feel chubby. Eventually, maybe I will. But as of right now, I just don't want to because it's not attractive. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for sticking around and waiting out for me. Sorry if I made you panic a little bit. But I'm still here. Baby's still here. We're all good to go. So I will talk to you guys next week. see you later. Bye.